I'm kind of sick to death of sand doors, you know. We've already done 5x5, 4x4, 3x3, 2x2. I guess we could do a 1x1 if we were really that dedicated. But you know, we did the one wide 3x3 door, so maybe we should just stop doing doors. Of course not. 6x6, hell yeah. So this one looks like Mumbo Jumbo because it was very short and it did terribly, so clickbait failed. Anyway. Goes a bit like that. Here's one that looks like a creeper. Maybe this would be better clickbait. I don't know. This one goes like this. And here's one made of sand. Bam. So this one is really annoying because the 5x5 stuck out one block on each side, the 4x4 stuck out one block on each side, the 3x3 stuck out one block on one side, I'm pretty sure, maybe one block on each side, I don't know. But the point is, I had a pattern going, I was building them all the same. This one looks nearly identical to like the other ones. But then there's this blue bit, because I couldn't figure out how to incorporate this into the bit above. There's a hopper here though, because, you know, hopper for life. It's actually really functional. It's because it updates the pistons, but doesn't destroy anything, which is a useful feature. Right, so how do you build this? Okay, so to build this, you're going to need these resources. You're going to need a stack and 11 wool plus a stack and 19 wool for the other part. So this doesn't have to be wool. These can all be any type of block. I'm just using the different colours for the different parts. 57 repeaters, a hopper, a target block, 4 slabs, these could also be glass or stairs, 20 redstone torches, a stack and 20 redstone dust, 10 pistons, 31 sticky pistons, 36 sand for the door. So this can be any block like concrete powder, that's how I did the different colours. So you can use concrete powder as well as sand or gravel. Anything that falls. I guess anvils, but they break over time, so maybe don't do that. And we'll need another 4 sand, so I'm just using red sand to show this different, but just sand, gravel, concrete powder, anything, to go above some pistons in a part of it. So that's with 4 normal pistons. We'll use that. So the space you're going to need is this 5x8 area plus 1 on the side. So it's 5x9, and I tried so hard to get this blue bit off the side off, I couldn't figure out a way of doing it, so instead we're stuck with this beautiful compact door and then this stupid blue thing sticking out the side. Oh well. So to get to the actual floor that our door comes out of, you've got to go 13 blocks up, and that's where the floor is. So that's where the door comes out of, like this. So these slabs here are the 13th block up. I'm going to call this the front, and if we go to the left side, then we go 1 block forward and 1 block across and 1 block up, and then we do a sticky piston aiming upwards, and then we do 5 more next to that one. So we got 6 across like this, and then we do that another 4 times. So we've got this 5x6 block of sticky pistons, and then we do 6 normal pistons on top of that, and our sand goes on top of this. So I'm going to use different coloured sand, just so we can kind of see where each bit of the door is. And there we go, that's what our sand will be like, and again our floor is kind of like here. Okay, so first things first, our input block. So if we're aiming at the front, at the bottom, we go to the right side, we walk all the way to the back, and then we go 1 block across, and 1 block off the floor is where our input block is, and we just build a diagonal tower like this up to the floor our door comes out of. So we just keep going. And this block would actually be our floor here. So, you know, where the top of the door is. So that's where we stop. And we put torches, starting from the bottom on the side, alternating like this, so that they'll all set each other off, like so. And this is our ceiling, so obviously won't have anything sticking up there, because, you know, we'll have blocks here. Now starting at the very bottom, at the back, we're going to do a 2x6 area behind the pistons. So it's diagonally 1 block below them, and we do that every other block the entire way up, And then on the front of all of these, aiming at the pistons, we put repeaters, and they need to be on the default setting. Make sure to check all of these before you set it off, because that will be a pain to troubleshoot in the future. And then we place redstone behind all these repeaters, and they should all turn on from the torches. So do it starting from the bottom, really. That'll be the best way to do this. So now our door should be above there if you started placing the redstone at the bottom. If not, the pistons will be wherever. Doesn't really matter. Or at least shouldn't do. You might break some sand, though. Okay, so if we turn these levers off, and then turn them back on, you can see this is how they turn off. So starting at the bottom and going to the top. So the first thing we're going to do is delay them so that they start at the top and go to the bottom when they're turning off. So the first thing to do that, at the back of the door, from the torch tower, we go 1 block across and 1 block below the top line of redstone and repeaters with a redstone dust. And we build this Y shape of blocks. Now we're going to build this Y shape of blocks the entire way down. So you get this kind of chain pattern like this. So it should look like this. And then what we're going to do is, from the top block of this chain, we're going to do a repeater on 2 ticks, go into a block with redstone under it, then a repeater facing the other way, 2 ticks, into block redstone under, then a repeater on 2 ticks, block with not a torch, a redstone under it, then repeater on 2 ticks, redstone under the block, repeater on 2 ticks. Now when we turn it on, and then turn it off, it'll turn off like this. So as you can see, the pistons go a bit further down. We've got the door 2 blocks down now instead of just 1. So now we just have to make all the pistons pull each other to the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do at the back, on this chain we just built, the first redstone dust below a block, we're going to place a block next to it with a torch on it. Then we're going to place a block above the torch and a block across from that. Then we're going to do redstone dust, a repeater on 2 ticks, then a normal piston with sand or concrete or some other block that falls on top, so gravel as well would work, as long as redstone can go through it. Then we have a block from that. I'll just remove this sort of height marker. And we have a repeater facing out the other side. So this goes into a block with a block 2 blocks below it, and then across from this block, we just do blocks along the entire way of all the pistons, then 1 block diagonally above, and we do redstone dust on all those. So that means that these pistons here will pull this piston above down, and that's because when you have this set up with the block, it kind of acts like an observer. When the repeater turns on, it will send a very short pulse to this repeater before the sand is pushed up, and that'll make this piston spit up and pull the pistons down very quickly. The next thing we make go off is the pistons underneath to pull those pistons we just set off down. So to do that from our torch, we have 2 blocks underneath the torch with a redstone and a repeater, and this one's on 4 ticks. So full delay, going into the same piston with sand above it. Then we do a block with a repeater on its default, and then that goes into a block, and then that goes into blocks along all these pistons with redstone along them. So after that's done, we actually need the pistons above to pull the top pistons down another layer, and to do that we actually send another pulse to the bit at the top, adding a delay along the top bit. So we do that by doing a redstone on top of the block next to the top repeater. Then we do a block with a repeater on it. We do a block there. We do a block diagonally down from that, and we do that. Then another block, then a slab at the top so that it doesn't block this redstone off, and then a block above that redstone, and then there's just repeaters along all of the blocks that are free below the ceiling. So if we set the entire thing off now, can see that it pulls the pistons down so that we've only got 2 blocks of the door above the floor now. So we just need to deal with the rest of the pistons. So the next set of pistons we need to set off are these ones. And we're going to do that with, you guessed it, a block with a torch on it and this piston with sand set up. So if we go to our chain pattern on the block at the bottom on the right side, we place a repeater on top of that will get powered by redstone. So make sure your redstone is looking like this and not like this. And you do that by right clicking on it. And then that goes into a block with a torch on it. Then we have a block above that with redstone dust, then a block next to that, and we put a block 2 blocks above that as well, just to block this redstone connecting to another redstone dust here. Then we have our piston with sand on top. Then we have a block with a repeater on its default. Then we have a block in front of that repeater and blocks going all the way across with redstone on them. And this repeater, sorry, is on 2 ticks of delay. So then we need to trigger the pistons above again, and we do that from the right hand side. So we actually extend this line one more block. So this is the front, and we go 1 block to the right, and then next to these repeaters we place a block with a torch on it. And then diagonally below that there's actually our friend the hopper, and this is because the hopper getting powered will update pistons, which will make them get triggered by this redstone when they're diagonally below it at one point. And then above this torch we have our target block, then a slab so that it doesn't block off this redstone, and then a block, and then destroy this redstone so it doesn't get triggered. And we place a torch on top of that block, place redstone back, and now this means when this redstone goes off and pulls these pistons down, redstone will then go to this torch, which will then turn this redstone off for a bit, which will turn this torch on and make the pistons that now be pulled down, pull the ones above down 1 block. Now we also want the ones below after that's happened to pull these pistons down 1 block. So to do that, we go around the back again and we go to the bottom torch, and then we place a block underneath it with redstone on top. Block, repeater, piston with sand, block, repeater, 2 ticks, block in front of that, then blocks across with redstone on top of them. And this repeater is on 2 ticks. So then if we do all that shebang, so as you can see, we kind of need to set off these pistons 1 more time, and then also the ones above. So to access all this, on the front, on the left side, we do blocks along the bottom. We do a redstone here, which will get powered by this repeater at the back, then a repeater on 2 ticks, then just a line of redstone. Then that line of redstone goes into a block with a torch on it. Next to that torch we have a slab with some redstone on it so it doesn't affect the bottom piston. Then that goes into a block with redstone on the side and redstone on top. And then this torch will trigger this line of redstone to trigger these pistons, and then the one above as well to trigger these pistons. So if we do the whole thing now, we can see we're very nearly done. The only thing we actually have to do is trigger these pistons to pull these ones down, and then trigger those ones to pull the top ones down. Now I tried, but I couldn't figure out a way to do this in the limited space I had. There might be a way to do it, but I just haven't found it. So unfortunately, we just have to go 1 block out to the side with this blue wool of shame. Use any colour you want. With a redstone, 2 repeaters facing sideways, a block, torch on top, block, then we'll destroy this redstone, torch on top, put the redstone back. And now we can see we've got a 6 high door. So if you want to make it look like this, then it's just lime wool, lime concrete powder, black concrete powder, and dark grey concrete powder, and you do it in this pattern. Thanks for watching. I've been Idendied.